Hello, welcome back, connoisseurs of Crusader Kings 3. We are once again joining Duke Dumnar II in his domain in the Kingdom of England, in the Duchy of Cornwall. Things are going much better for our Duke than they were before. We have sort of liberated the border, the coast here of Brittany from Viking invaders, and now it is in our possession. We are a little bit over our domain cap, but at this point, I think because this is sort of like the rundown of his life, I think we're not going to worry about this. His vassals, as a rule, really like him, so losing the percent from this just long enough for us to fill in 2 more of these, if we even live that long, is probably fine. It's probably perfectly fine. He's 68 years old. I wouldn't expect him to live too many more years, even with his whole of body. As I explained last episode, the new look is due to his, basically he's neglecting some parts of his grooming now that he's older. He doesn't like to bother to shave. His hands are probably more shaky than they once were. He probably doesn't get a haircut as often, but he's still healthy, and he's still living his life, you know. It's hard to go through a lot of stress without some things changing about you, and one of the things that's changed about him is he no longer cares about his physical appearance the way he once did, which is why we've given him his new haircut and his new beard. As I said at the beginning of last episode, at least I think I did, which is hilarious because it wasn't recorded that long ago in my world, I have added community flavor pack, better barbershop, and better portrait lighting, because they are mods that I generally use when I am making my thumbnails, and it's just more convenient for me to leave them loaded so I don't have to switch back and forth between mod sets every single game, and they don't really affect anything. All of the characters who were essential to the series, I reset their appearances to what they were before they got changed by the new upgrade, and then as we go into the future, the community flavor pack appearances will start to appear for more secondary characters, like Alphael here now has this giant beard that he didn't have before. Some of the wives of some of the main characters have like a look a little bit different. But generally, the people we see all the time, I've got them still looking like they always did. Alright, so we've said that again. It's 2 episodes in a row, but I felt like it was worth saying again. Just this one time. And now we're never going to talk about it again. As a rule, in the future, when I run vanilla series, I usually do use community flavor pack, even when what I consider to be a vanilla series. It's hardly even a mod in my mind. And better barbershop is also the same way. It's hardly even a mod in my mind. And the lighting, the better portrait lighting, just I think it makes the characters easier to see when you have them on backgrounds. Okay, let's go. Sprouting interest. A merchant has sent me samples of seeds. Plants he claims are good for health and mind. I must admit, I have little experience in nurturing plants, but how hard could it be? I will use these to start a private garden. I would love to get herbalist, but either of those two would be nice. We are a seeker of knowledge. That's fine. Nothing new in here that actually matters, and oh yes there is. Yes there is. I have a son. So we talked last episode about what we're going to do about the sun. So we're going to put the sun aside here for a second, and we're going to click this, just so that we get it done. It's now paid for. It gave us a nice prestige boost either, which is good because it goes towards our goal of getting to 2,000 for changing our culture before we die. So this son is going to be the only child that I have with my new wife, and by agreement, he is going to be disinherited and then granted these titles. We're going to do that after he comes of age, though. And we are going to name him after an ancestor. Who are we going to name him? I find it unseemly to name your son after your dead son because it just feels like you're trying to replace them. What's my father's name? Oh, I'm Dumnar II. My father's name. Oh, no. No, my grandfather's name? No. Okay, so I'm just Dumnar II, like as in there was a Dumnarth a long time ago. Alright, so what is my grandfather's name? We didn't look. Perverden? That's gonna be his name. Perverden? Welcome to the family. Now, while I am not going to grant him the land until he's educated, I am going to disinherit him right away, just because I want it to be clear that that's the intent. I don't want there to be any disputes or thoughts. The vassals who don't like it are going to have to get over it. The intent was never for this boy to split the realm. The intent was always for him to be given the land in Brittany and get to grow there. And that was always the intent, so that we could fulfill our agreement of the unification of our two families through this child. Now, yes, he is disinherited, but don't worry about it. We will absolutely do good by him. If his traits turn out... Oh, he's forgiving. If his traits somehow turn out bad, which they don't look like they're gonna, but if they did somehow turn out bad, like if he was, like, vengeful or greedy or something, I will grant them to the kid when I get the pop-up that says I know I have a year to live, because, of course, since I have full... since I have whole of body, I have the trait that tells you when you're going to die within the year, so I'm not going to leave the decision up to this kid here. My grandson, my beloved grandson, I shouldn't just call him this kid, he's like the most important thing in the world to me other than my new son, which is probably near his equal in my eyes, I would say. Like, my grandson is like a spitting image of his father, but my own son is like a new sort of light in my late years. So yeah, I kind of want to train him myself, but I don't think that's right because I'm just too old. Just like I said with the other kid, there's too much chance that I will die while I'm training him, and switching guardians just from a mechanical standpoint is really bad for characters. Like, it really hurts their education. But more than that, I think it would traumatize the kid even more if his father died literally while they were like seeing each other every day. So yeah, I think we're gonna have close care over this child, but we're not going to we're not gonna be his guardian ourselves. But what we do want to do is try to find a way to recruit a really good tutor slash guardian for him. Ideally, we want somebody with a reasonably high intelligence, I should say, knowledge. Yeah, learning skill, not knowledge. I don't like how you calling it knowledge. It just feels that way to me sometimes. But also, she's not great. She's the best. So let's see if we have a marriable woman, so we can see if we can find a man who fits those qualities better. These guys are old, but that's okay because they're not so old. This guy, this bishop, we could trick him out of the church into our place. He would make a good teacher. He'd be a super good teacher for diplomat, and he'd be an okay teacher for a steward as well. Generally, because he has this trait, he would do well. With this guy, this hunchback, 53 years old, which means he should live the whole life of the child. He has medium traits on everything except learning, but he's very good at learning. And he has the most important trait of all. He's a genius. Gonna bring him in. She's not lowborn, so I'm not like forcing him to marry a low. Oh, he's a lunatic. We're gonna steal the bishop. We're gonna steal the bishop because the other choice is a lunatic. So that's happening. Once she is here, why is she here? She doesn't. Oh, she just lives here. She's probably someone important. Oh, the daughter of my acclaimed knight. All right, that's why she's here. It's like, where did she come from? She's just literally the daughter of my acclaimed knight. That's actually nice to learn. Okay, so she's gonna marry this former priest because as soon as they marry, he's not gonna be a priest no more. The fact he was offering himself up to marriage kind of implies that he was sort of done with that life anyway. He's an even better doctor than my current doctor, but I'm not going to fire my current doctor for him. because we already have an intent for him, and that is that we are going to make him our court tutor. He'll be excellent at it, which is what we were hoping for. And then he will become the boy's guardian. I think, unless the boy chooses a radically different lifestyle that he can't handle, he's going to be the guardian. Either way, he's a good court tutor, and we want one in place. We want all of the needs of our new young son to be taken care of. We don't want to create the impression that we don't. Yeah, we knew this was coming. I don't know why we're on 4. Probably from the last war. I was gonna say let's raise part of it, and then raise part of it down here, but we didn't think that through. They're coming for us anyway, so if they want to hurl themselves at us instead of doing that eternal siege, then they can just go right ahead. That's a better solution for us anyway. It probably saves us like 15 gold and prevents us from going into... Oh, what is this? Ah, yeah, the Grant Vassal I knew that was going to come. So we're going to take this vassal. We've now consolidated this territory. We're going to... He's not an adult yet, so we cannot sway him, but we will begin swaying him the second that we can. He's going to be a problem for us. Rightfully so. Oh wow, there's a lot more people rose up than I thought would. That's bad for our it's bad for our control, which we were doing pretty well about. Oh yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It's because we pushed ourselves too fast. Doing all these wars in such a fast speed just upset the peasantry, which is not unexpected. A lot of these people are sort of uncomfortable with our rule anyway. And we've got some insularists who were trying to Catholicize, and then we've got some Bretons down here who want to keep their old ways, and the Anglo-Saxons we got to push out up here. It's just all over the place. I don't need to sway Celine anymore. He's been long back at 100%. Somebody's still trying to murder my ex-wife. I don't know why. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but that's life. I don't know everything about her relationships with others. Where's this guy gonna land? What's he doing? I'd love to be able to finish this. I said there'd be no more wars. I promised no more wars, but look what we're doing. We're doing wars. Of course he lands like the literal furthest away. It's actually because these are the least developed parts of our territory, and thus the ones where an army this small actually has a chance of completing a siege. It literally can't do that anywhere else. But, you know, this was inevitability, sadly. We grew our domain too fast and couldn't manage it. But once this is over, I don't think it'll happen again, at least not in our lifetime, because we're about to get the popular opinion perk. Enforce our demands. So, this guy would make a good knight. But it's upsetting to me that he's an actual noble. Like, that's upsetting to me. Because he should know better. It's Breton. He's Catholic. I mean, rebelling against your king should be cause for execution, but again, I'm not a tyrant. We're gonna recruit him. We're gonna give him a chance. I think it's for the best. He very much does not like us, in spite of the fact that we were generous in our decision. We're gonna lose our mercenaries, which will take us down to 2,200. That's okay. And now we're saving money for prestigious activities in order to try to change our culture. We do want to, there we go, petition liege. We're going to petition our liege. Hopefully he sees the logic in the send bailiffs. I really hope he does. We're going to need to just customize this route here, so that we don't have to go through the dangerous territory of Wiltshire, which is still being brought under new management by us. We need to put you back out. Oh, jeez. This all looks really bad. We were doing such a good job of managing it. Everything was under control for so long, and now this. Well, managing the domains is part of solidifying a realm in order to establish a peace, so he is going to, okay, so yeah, he is going to agree, but he wants something in return. What he's asking for is, gets a weak hook. That's fine. The most likelihood is that he's going to use that weak hook to change my my taxes or my levy requirement, and that's perfectly fine by me. The reason, as I said long ago, well, long ago like last week, the whole reason why I took the low vassal, like I agreed to this, was because I could do it with low taxes and low levy requirements, because that would mean that if I had to pay him off to get him to do something I needed him to do, he would only be pushing me to regular, like medium, middle. So good. That should really help though, like it's a really strong, the bailiffs is really strong because it just gives flat amounts to a lot of these places, like it just gives them a base amount, and it assists your seneschal, so you get like we almost have one in a lot of these domains even without them being supported by our marshal, which is great, which means these should get back to control pretty quickly. This is what we're hoping for. We could also, because we can change this again once we get divided attention, because architect actually, no, we go all the way to architect if we live that long. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes to stabilize the realm. If it takes too long, we might switch over to the martial one that gives control as well, just to end out our life on our path to consolidating the realm. Let's check out how the boy is doing. He's now 12. He's trusting, which means he's probably going to do what I tell him to do. He's forgiving, and he's patient. He's definitely like his father and his grandfather, which is stewardship and learning focused. So the tradition is going to, of being thoughtful about these things, is going to continue, but again, as he's trusting, it means he's probably likely to adopt the things he's told to do by his grandfather, and his grandfather is definitely educating him to believe that their alliance with Britain is temporary, and that part of his destiny should be to attempt to break free. He doesn't have loyal, which is really good, because I would have a hard time declaring independence on a character who was loyal. So I think very likely he is going to at least reluctantly continue with the plan for now. At least that's how I feel about what I see from his traits at this point. And this kid here also learning in stewardship based, which is not unexpected from this family. The Pope has given us more gold, which is really good. We're going to do some building expansions. We're going to get this trade port. Oh, shoot. That's not right. We had another thing we were working on. We're not doing building expansions right now. We're doing A feast. A feast? A hunt. A feast. We're gonna do a feast. Okay? We're gonna do it in... I think we're gonna do it in... Actually, let's think about this a little bit. We have two different places where our farms and fields are making it cheaper. Wincombe and Wiltshire. I think Wiltshire is better because down there is a place that we've been working on integrating lately. Wiltshire is new, so we'll do it there. Sort of a celebration of their integration into our realm whole. The person I would most likely to be the guest of honor at this feast is Cillian, but Cillian is not coming. So let's see who is coming. This guy. This is Lord Howell's rebellious son. So we're gonna select him. This one-eyed young man with his one county who thinks he's gonna start a rebellion all on his own. Yeah, we don't care about that Reeve that much. So we're gonna pick him. And our purpose here is going to be recreation, I think befriend. We're gonna try to befriend King Alfred because he apparently is coming. I didn't realize he was coming. I didn't see him in the list the first time, so we're gonna continue on our goal to befriend the king. But that friendship does not go past him to his children. That's just the pragmatism of it. Yeah, let's head over there. This guy's strong Welsh ideals have made him join a single-person faction in order to remove the duchy title of the Hairbirth from me. Let's change that. Mostly, though, this feast is about realm solidification and cultural solidification, which is why all this prestige is going to be poured into our Leonese Bowman adaptation, you know, make the realm stronger, integrate more parts of the cultures around us. As one plate of food is replaced by the next, my liege, King Alfred, goes on and on about the blessings of family. And that was how we salvaged that mess. Are you sure I'm not boring you, my lord? Phew. Why don't we talk more about you? That's a pretty harsh topic to be running off about a man who has spent the last 10 years grieving the fact his two children died right next to each other. Like, within months of each other. But, I mean, he did just have a kid, so maybe that is a healing conversation. You know, I'm gonna interpret that beneficially towards Alfred and say that was intended as a healing conversation. Now that he has a new son, now that he has a new arrangement, now that his grandson is growing to be a healthy young man, that was a healing conversation. Is there anything more jovial than a good feast? Guests throng to and fro, eating and chatting while flickering torchlight pays off every wall, bouncing like laughter around the hall. So this is the general feast one where you decide whether or not you're going to go for prestige, you're going to mingle, or you're going to relax. Now the thing about the mingling is, as I said before, this is really good. We did befriend Alfred, so we don't need too much more with him, but doing this, I'm going to look at the guest list, and we're going to look at the guy we're actually trying to make like us. Does he share any traits with us? Oh, we're both arbitrary. Strange that we would come together at this feast over the fact that we really just like to have our own way. You know, like, it's strange that the one thing we have in common is that we like things our own way, but that it is a good enough reason for me to click this. The rumors that have been circulating about Earl Uthred wanting to curry favor with King Alfred are confirmed as he hands him a gift. I mean, I wanted to too. My dearest liege, it's lovely to see you. Knowing that we'd meet here, I brought you this marvelous pelt as a token of my appreciation. King Alfred grins as he studies the animal hide. Seeing how happy he is from receiving a gift, I realize I'm at risk of missing this opportunity to improve my standing with him as well. I mean, do I need to? Do we need to? We're friends, and our standing is maximized. Like, I'm one of the people he most likes in the whole realm. So, my friend, I have a gift for you as well. You know, he is generous, so he just like to give things to people. Ahem, I declare a toast to King Alfred. Yeah, That's... Spill your drink on the gifted pelt and claim it was an accident? That's not us. No need to rush. I'll think of something some other time. Who's this guy? He's a neighboring fellow vassal. I think we're gonna do the toast because that seems the most natural at a feast. It feels like the natural thing to do, and if it makes us rivals with the other guy, so be it. It's a joy to see my friend Aelwald. Once again, we eat, drink, and sing together as if no time has passed since we last parted. We could have been dining in a barn, and this would still have been one of the greatest feasts I have ever been to. It's nice to have friends when you're old. It's nice to have people around to make you feel good, make life still seem worthwhile. This guy's the king of stress, though. He does not need these stress downs at all. The feast is starting to draw to a close, and my visitors are surely expecting me to lavish a little attention on Lord Owain, our esteemed guest of honor. Now, as I said before, unless your specific purpose is that you brought them here because you hate them, and you want to be their rival, I always pick this because why did I invite him here and tell everybody it was a feast in his honor if I'm just gonna crap on him when he gets here? Like, this is the thing. So that's good. And with that, it's all done. So I think we've probably repaired our relationship with him pretty thoroughly with this one feast. We went from a moderate negative to plus 58. That's all you can really expect out of a single event, I think. So that's good. Hopefully that will be enough to get him to drop his silly, his silly faction. You know, please drop your silly faction. If I have to, I'll sway him, but that sway was preserved for someone else, I think. Oh, I don't remember. It was last episode. I don't remember. Oh, I was gonna sway... No, that doesn't seem right. I'm gonna sway my grandson and have it represent... Oh, no, I can't do that yet. I was gonna sway this kid, but I don't think he's an adult yet. But he's 14. Can't quite sway him, but I can give him a gift. How much is the gift? 112. 112. We gotta overcome a lot of problems with this guy. And his only good... Well, if he turns out to be... He wants to be a diplomat. Kid, you're messing your education rightly up. You should be going here. This is better for you. Just look at your predilections, right? Like, this is better for you. If you did this, if you clicked this, I mean, I'm obviously not going to do it because I'm not in charge of you. But if you clicked this, you would probably have a seat on my council. Because you didn't do that, you're going to educate yourself into a position where I'm going to have no use for you. And then we're gonna have problems forever. I'm not giving him a gift. I am generous though. But I have plans, and my plans are important, and they've been put off for so long. We need to do another hunt. We are friends with King Alfred now, so we're gonna do a hunt. Hopefully, we can get a lot. I keep thinking it's in there because that's where it used to be. We can get a lot of people to join this hunt. Gonna send it right here into the center. Do we need the forest guide? We probably do need the forest guide. Yeah, I'm guessing, because the dangerous area is a 1 even with the forest guide, so we're gonna keep the forest guide. Do what we always do, which is turn these down to the bottom. This is not supposed to be an expensive hunt. This is supposed to be a small affair. Now, I'm gonna look at befriend, and I'm gonna see if... So he's not a hunter. He's not coming. That's fine. He doesn't need to. Oddly, neither... Oh, I can't befriend Alfred, so he wouldn't be on the list. I can befriend his brother, though. I think that's a good use of this hunt. Yeah? Otherwise, we could do the Slay the Beast, so that we can... I think we're going to Slay the Beast. We're really good at hunting. We're going to be supported by tons of people with the hunting trait, so it's probably going to be another 80% hunt. We have a great location, like we always do, so... I think we're gonna try to slay the beast so that we can get that extra prestige. Still need about 700 prestige to hit our goal of adding oh, it might be... We'll look at it in a minute. Hunt soon. There's our friend King Alfred. Let's get out there. Howl's son that I like, as opposed to Howl's son that I have had problems with. It's a lovely day for a hunt. So this is the pressed lavender event. Why should I care what others think? You know, the thing is, we're so good at this that you can probably afford this. And the stress is basically meaningless. It's the opinion of the other hunters I don't want, though. So we'll keep up appearances. I mean, this is hunts are really for us to pal around with people, right? I give it to Alfred. I actually tend to like to pick this. Because it feels like the right thing to do, that a man whose life has been growing up in the great forests of Devon, who has a great appreciation for nature and the hunt, would put the bird back, because putting the bird back is like preserving the integrity of the forest's future as a hunting ground. And I'm not really a falconer, but I do. But you know what? Our first conversation that led us to begin to be friends with Alfred was the event conversation where you talk about how great hunting birds are. So I'm going to give it to him as a gift, because that will be a callback to that original conversation between us where we first started to become friends because we both appreciated the beauty of falcons. Oh, my friend Aelwald is the first to spot the flowing trail. It's flowing trail, yeah. So we're going to chase this thing down. The fox it is. We will gain some prestige, and it is perilous, but it increases our success chance, which means, as per nearly every hunt that I've participated in, that I've called myself, I have had 80%, so I will shoot it. So they've given me the, you just do it, there's no chance to fail, so that's gonna happen, because of course our intent is to kill the beast, and we want to succeed. More prestige. We are. This is my court physician, who, unlike his predecessor, has actually been becoming better at the job, but while he's been in my care, it is a foxtail. What would I use the foxtail for? To be perfectly honest, I would use the foxtail to turn into money in order to pay for the expedition. Do I really need to become better? No, I don't. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sell it to some hunting enthusiast who just does not have the will to hunt themselves, and use it to pay for our outing. Let's crack that open. There we go. Oh, another hermit. You know what? I know it's weird, and I've said the opposite every time I've had events similar to this, that he doesn't really seek chance, but I think just because he's getting old, you know, I think he's gonna ask about his future. The hermit takes a second before replying. He gets up and waits until I follow. There's some herbs scattered around and what seems to be a rudimentary bed. He turns to me when we're away from the entourage. With an oddly deep voice replies, "The water shall pass, but you won't." Oh, that's actually strangely apt. You know, the drowning suffering of his long pain from the loss of his two children will pass, and he will continue past it to become a happy and good man again. I mean, it caused him stress, but I think it caused him stress not because he's afraid of what it means, but because it reminded him of his pain. Wow, this guy might, if he meets any more, put a little bit more. Oh, Cillian just died. I'm sorry, old man. Who's younger than me by near a decade. I'm sorry how things turned out. Goodbye, Cillian. You served as loyally as you could. And our new bishop, in his fancy new brown and gray robes, is average at his job, but almost as old as his predecessor when he starts the job on the first day. And he's an Anglo-Saxon, which we don't really have a problem with around here. Nope. He loves us, but that's not unexpected. We're like, we're the multiple pilgrim, known for his faith, so I would expect a priest to like us. I wanted to look at this just to see when we reform this here, to put in this longbow competitions. The actual cost of it is going to be, so it's getting 3,000 added to it, and then 250. So it's going to go down by 5,000, right? And when it goes down by 5,500, that leaves it at 2,000, which is what I actually thought. It's right there. It just says right there, base 2,000. What are we doing? But it will gain another 1,000 because it has to have half of the thing. So I actually have to get another 1,000. So if we're going to do this in the short years of our lives that remain, we have to be bold about what we do to gain prestige, right? Like, we're trying to spread the legitimacy of our new culture, a culture that didn't even exist 10 years ago. So I think we're going to do that with a grand tour. With that, though, I think we're going to end this episode before doing the grand tour. The grand tour will happen next time. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all the likes and the comments. They really inspire me to keep going and become better at this and continue the series until its end, which I was going to do anyway. But I hope to see you again next time, and yeah, goodbye for now.